I think the surprise team will be one of the surprise teams from last year, which was the Boston Celtics. A surprise to make the playoffs last year, but I think this team, this way it's constituted, can win 50 games with David Lee, who was an all-star just 2 seasons ago, coming back and playing a significant role. I mean, this is a guy who was a double-double guy every night up until last year. I think he can get 18 and 9 again with the Celtics. I mean, I think the Atlanta Hawks last year played over their heads, and we saw that come to fruition in the playoffs. I don't think they're a 60-win team again. The loss of DeMarre Carroll, I think, which they're trying to downplay, is going to be a big hindrance to what they're able to do this year. I think DeMarre Carroll brought them more than Tiago Splitter is going to bring them. And people are going to be more familiar with them this year. So I think that's the team. If you're thinking they're going to repeat what they did last year, I think you're overrating them. You know what? I've thought about that like everybody every single season. And every single season, they remind us that no, they're not too old. Their experience is tremendous, and they got the best coach in the game. Well, I got to think about Joe Johnson. 7-time All-Star who always gets traded, hasn't been traded in a couple of years, so he's due. And not only that, he's making too much money with Brooklyn. They don't need him, but somebody will look at Joe Johnson as the season wears on and say, we need this guy to score the basketball for us coming off the bench to bring in his experience. So I would look to Joe Johnson. Maybe someone like Memphis. You know, Memphis's biggest problem is they don't shoot the three very well. You know, Joe Johnson is not necessarily a three-point shooter, but he can certainly open up the floor, and he can certainly shoot three-pointers. I could see them, depending on how the season goes, depending on how Matt Barnes works out for them and that kind of thing, he might be a wing player they could add.